Imagine picturing a genius. What comes to mind? Probably someone super polished, lab coat optional, sharp suit maybe, always calm, articulate, never hesitates, walks into any room like they own it. The classic Einstein meets Tony Stark vibe. Confident, unfloppable, always one step ahead. But here's the twist that most people don't talk about. That image is mostly fiction. When you look at real people who score in the extreme top percentiles on IQ tests, the ones who crush complex puzzles, pattern recognition, verbal reasoning, you find something way more human, way more messy. These folks often feel like the biggest imposters in the room. They wrestle with doubt more than almost anyone else. They stay up way too late, talk to themselves when no one's around, get overwhelmed by everyday noise and lights, and forget the simplest things while solving problems that stump everyone else. This isn't weakness, it's often the direct result of how their brains are wired. Today, we're breaking down 10 real research-backed habits that show up again and again in extremely high IQ individuals. If a few hit close to home, you're not alone. Let's get into it. First and most consistent, massive self-doubt and imposter feelings. You'd think the smartest people feel superior. Nope. Studies on self-assessment show the opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect. High performers, especially in cognitive domains, underestimate themselves, while average ones overestimate. Why? The deeper your understanding of any field, the more you see its endless layers, unknowns, and nuances. A beginner feels confident because they don't know what they don't know. The expert sees every gap, every potential flaw in their own thinking. That same razor-sharp reasoning that solves hard problems turns inward and builds an airtight case against themselves. I'm just lucky. People overestimate me. Soon they'll realize I'm faking it. It's exhausting. Many high IQ folks live with chronic, low-key anxiety, not from lack of ability, but from hyper-awareness of how much more there is to master. The person most qualified often feels least deserving. Second, they're almost always night owls. Research, including work by Satoshi Kanazawa, shows a clear link. Higher childhood IQ predicts later bedtimes and wake times, even controlling for jobs and social stuff. Evolutionary angle? Overriding your natural circadian rhythm to stay up thinking, reading, or creating is a novel behavior in human history. Smarter brains handle that override better. Real-life impact? They thrive in quiet late hours when the world quiets down. No distractions, deep focus kicks in. But society runs on 9 to 5 mornings, so many end up sleep-deprived, foggy during the day, labeled lazy when their biology just runs on a different clock. Third, they talk to themselves a lot. Private speech isn't childish, it's a proven tool for self-regulation and problem-solving. Saying thoughts out loud changes how the brain processes them, activates different pathways, helps organize chaos. High IQ folks lean hard into language as a thinking tool, not just communication. When alone, the internal dialogue becomes external. You'll catch them muttering in the car, pacing the kitchen, rehearsing arguments, or debugging ideas. It's functional, not weird, but yeah, they get embarrassed if someone overhears and pretend it was a phone call. Fourth, higher rates of anxiety and rumination. The brain that's great at predicting outcomes and running what-if simulations is also amazing at forecasting disasters. Research links high verbal intelligence to more worry. Your threat detection system is on overdrive. They don't just think what could go wrong, they generate 20 detailed scenarios in seconds, complete with probabilities and contingencies. It's adaptive for problem solving, but draining emotionally. Many describe their mind as a non-stop simulator that won't shut off, turning minor worries into full-blown catastrophes at 2 a.m. Fifth, forgetting everyday stuff like pros. Keys, phone, that email reply, names of acquaintances, constant. It's not carelessness, it's attentional prioritization. A brain optimized for abstract, high-stakes thinking downranks mundane details. The stove might get left on because where did I put my keys felt less urgent than modeling a 20-variable problem. It's frustrating for them and annoying for others, but it makes sense. Limited bandwidth goes to what matters most in their world. Sixth, colorful language, including swearing. Studies show people comfortable with taboo words often score higher on verbal intelligence tests. It's not lack of vocabulary, it's mastery of it. They pick the precise word for impact, emotion, or humor. Sometimes that's a swear because it fits perfectly, raw, direct, effective. Words are tools. A skilled user grabs whatever works. The grandma shocking vocab isn't poverty, it's precision. Seventh, sensory overload is real. High cognitive ability often pairs with heightened sensory processing. More input gets through, processed deeper. Lights too bright, noises too sharp, crowds too chaotic. Research on giftedness shows associations with sensory sensitivity. The same bandwidth for deep thinking amplifies the environment. Busy places drain them fast. They seek quiet, controlled spaces, not snobbery, but necessity. Their nervous system runs hotter, taking in more than average, so downtime isn't optional, it's recharge. Eighth, intense curiosity and need for cognition. They chase deep questions, hate surface-level answers. This drives lifelong learning, but makes small talk painful. Many prefer solitude or one-on-one depth over group chit-chat. Ninth, perfectionism that borders on paralysis. They see flaws others miss, so starting feels impossible until it's right. Combined with self-doubt, it leads to procrastination, not laziness, but fear of subpar output. 10th, emotional intensity and empathy swings. High IQ often means high openness and sensitivity, feeling others' emotions deeply, but also getting overwhelmed. They might seem detached, processing internally, but care profoundly. Put it together, these aren't flaws, they're side effects of a brain built for complexity. The same wiring that makes breakthroughs possible creates doubt, overload, scattered attention, and exhaustion. Society says you're so smart, life should be easy, but it's often harder because the world isn't tuned to their frequency. If this resonates, if you're up at odd hours, doubting yourself, overwhelmed by noise, or forgetting your own phone number while solving world-level puzzles, know it's normal for this profile. You're not broken, your mind is just running at a different speed and volume. If you want to dive deeper into the psychology behind this, check out books on giftedness, cognitive biases, or high sensitivity. I've linked a few recommendations below. Drop a comment. Which hobbit surprised you most, or which one feels spot on? Like if this hit home, subscribe for more real talk on minds like this. Thanks for watching. Take care of that brilliant, chaotic brain of yours. This should clock in around 15 plus minutes. Feel free to tweak pacing, add pauses for emphasis, or insert visuals like stock footage of late night thinking, someone muttering, or chaotic environments. Let me know if you want adjustments.